Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Nelson. Here's a look at what's going on this week in the news. And news from around the world. The cleanup and recovery continues, and emergency aid is still coming in to several nations hit by Hurricane Matthew. Haiti was one of the hardest hit nations, with thousands of Haitians being displaced and deaths estimated at about 1,000. Healthcare workers in the hardest hit areas are increasingly concerned that cholera is going to increase because of lack of water and sanitation. Chris Bessie, Haiti Country Director for Catholic Relief Services, expressed concern for outlying coastal communities on the far end of Haiti's southern peninsula, which took the brunt of Matthew's assault and have been cut off from communications. The CRS planned to send additional staff and vehicles into the region. They have also committed $5 million as an initial contribution to help Haiti and other Caribbean nations to recover from the storm, which was the strongest to hit the region in a decade. Meanwhile, in the United States, Catholic charities can join with other emergency response efforts in coastal communities in 4 southeastern states. Evacuation orders are still in effect in some South Carolina communities. Up to 18 inches of rain fell in communities around Charleston. In North Carolina, some officials were saying damage and flooding by Matthew could exceed that of Hurricane Floyd in 1999. Rivers are still rising in many locations, and in some areas, flooding is not expected to peak until Friday. In news from the Vatican now, on Sunday, October 9th, Pope Francis announced 17 new cardinals for the church from 11 nations. 3 of the cardinals announced are from the United States. Archbishop Blaise Cupich of Chicago, Bishop Kevin Farrell, who just recently was named the prefect of the new Vatican Office for Laity, Family, and Life, and Archbishop Joseph Tobin of Indianapolis. The new cardinals will be inducted into the College of Cardinals November 19th, the eve of the close of the Year of Mercy. The next day, they will join Pope Francis and other cardinals from around the world in celebrating the feast of Christ the King and the closing of the Year of Mercy. More news now from the Vatican. It was a celebration of Mary over the weekend. On Saturday, there was a concert and prayer vigil presided over by Pope Francis. The vigil began with testimonies on the importance of Mary, and then a procession of delegations from Marian shrines around the world bearing local representations of Mary. The Pope, with his rosary in hand, delivered a meditation in which he described the rosary as the synthesis of the history of God's mercy. Catholic News Service has more from the Vatican.
La preghiera del Rosario è, per molti aspetti, la sintesi della storia della misericordia di Dio che si trasforma in storia di salvezza per quanti si lasciano plasmare dalla grazia. Attraverso la preghiera e la meditazione della vita di Gesù, noi rivediamo il suo volto misericordioso che va incontro a tutti nelle varie necessità della vita. Maria ci accompagna in questo cammino, indicando il Figlio che irradia la misericordia stessa del Padre. Maria ci permette di comprendere che cosa significa essere discepoli di Cristo.
The Pope also celebrated a Holy Year Mass on Sunday with pilgrims who have a special devotion to Mary. And finally in the news, on World Day Against the Death Penalty, October 10th, the Catholic bishops of Texas issued a statement calling for an end to the death penalty, denouncing its effects not only on victims and others immediately affected, but also on society. The statement also served as the bishop's annual address to Texas Catholics during Respect Life Month, which is observed by the U.S. Catholic Church every October. The bishop said that this month offers Catholics an opportunity to reflect on the precious gift of life and to recommit to working towards a culture that truly welcomes and protects human life in society. Texas has the highest rate of executions of any state, although this year the state will carry out its lowest number of executions since 1996. That's all the information we have for you this time. I'm Kevin Nelson. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.